Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 9, episode 6. Before we get started, I want to take the time out to, thank you guys for supporting me, my older subscribers and my newer subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much for the support and being there for me. It's a couple of times that I did get emotional up here, which I hate because I know this is not why you guys come and watch me and stuff to be all emotional and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you guys never judge me. You guys have always been encouraging and said encouraging things when I had my moments and stuff, of expressing my struggles and my fears and, all that stuff as a young person. Ooh, feel like my voice breaking up now. But I ain't gonna cry though, cause baby, I'm a thug, okay? But no, yeah, you guys have definitely, been there. You guys never judge me. You always, been encouraging and everything. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. And we gonna keep on doing this thing and hope that the numbers continue to go up as we go along. But anyways, yeah, let's get into this review before I start crying for real. Um, okay, so we started off with Phaedra. She's at her office or whatever. And the paparazzi, they're there and everything, to talk about the bomb threats and all this other stuff. And she expresses that she was actually good friends with the guy, that they said made the bomb threat. And he was a 90s rapper named Drama and everything. I don't remember him. And don't say it's because I'm young, because my friends will tell you I listen to a lot of 90s and early 2000s music. Yeah, so don't say it's because I'm young. I just don't remember him. But they said he was, I don't know if he was a one hit wonder or something, but anyways, pretty much he just wanted to drop some bomb music is what he said. But he went to the wrong law office and all this other stuff, and it was people that didn't look like Phaedra, black and all this other stuff. And she says that it's racial profiling, and that's what she feels like it was. And she's getting, at the same time, even though that this happened, she still wants to get a security system, to protect her employees and all this other stuff. They're having a meeting, her and her employees, and they're talking about what they can do to protect them and blase blase. And then they also talk about how he wasn't in the right frame of mind at the time when he walked into the wrong law firm and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it's 2016, and people, you mean to tell me people still don't know that using the phrase, the bomb, or some bomb ass shit, whatever, can be used as a good thing? Like, people still don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know, child. But anyways, moving on from that, we have Kenya. Cynthia shows up to her house or whatever. They talk about what happened with Phaedra, and then Kenya, she brings out the cake that she made for Matt or whatever. That shit look nasty as hell. And I'm not like a real cake person. I don't like cake like that unless it's like cake with whipped cream in it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not a real big fan of cake. I love chocolate cake, but yeah, I'm not a real big fan of cake. So yeah, I wouldn't even have ate that shit. But anyways, Kenya, she tells about Matt, or what, tells Cynthia about Matt, because Cynthia's like, wait a minute, like no, y'all, what happened? Like, nobody touched the cake or nothing like that. And so Kenya's telling him that he went to California with his sister and haven't talked to him since. And she talks about the whole Jay-Z post and everything and how he got mad about that. Then next thing you know, Cynthia, she talks about Peter and everything, and how he was on the Wendy Williams show, and that was recently too, I think. And but pretty much he was saying that he was blindsided or whatever by the divorce and all this other stuff. And Cynthia, she said that she wanted the divorce to be smooth and everything, but now it's starting to look like it's ugly. It's going to get ugly because she felt betrayed that he would sit up here and actually say some shit like that, talking about he was blindsided. So Cynthia, she tells Kenya that she, needs to think about what she can, possibly do better with Matt and all this other stuff in their relationship. And then Kenya, she starts to get emotional because, she wants it all, the family and all that other stuff. So, moving on from that, we get Candy. Her and Todd, they're in the old lady gang restaurant, still trying to get some stuff done. Candy, she's still stressed out because the time is running down on them getting their liquor license. And, she's like that we have less than 45 days and all this other stuff, and it's a certain amount of time that you could do this stuff with the whole liquor license or whatever before you had to start the process all over again. And she was also talking about how, your place has to be up to par before they start handing out different licenses and shit like that. So, anyways, but she does want to set up, like a taste testing thing for the girls or whatever so they could try their food that's going to be in the restaurant with the chef or whatever. And, yeah, Todd, and and also Todd, he also brought up the fact that he did have a contractor helping at first, but he had to fire him for, I forgot the reason why he said, but anyway, so yeah, he had to take over. So, anyways, moving on from that, we get Portia, her mom is at her house, and her mom just always looks fabulous to me. But anyway, so, yeah, she's at Portia's house, Portia is trying to look for a new house and everything. Lauren, she comes in or whatever. I'm like, okay, her body snatched since she done had the baby and stuff like that. Portia says that she has 45 days before her lease is up and all this other stuff. And then she gonna have the nerve to ask Lauren and her mom, 45 days is like 3 weeks, right? And I'm like, see, Portia, this is why. This is why people think you're dumb, okay? But, because pretty much they're trying to rush her, I guess, to buy a new house and everything because of the fact that she doesn't have a lot of time to make a decision and all this other stuff. But she kind of wants to take her time because, it's a difference between having a house, having a lease and then, owning your own house or whatever. She says that she wants to have a bigger house and all this other stuff because she wants to have a family. Portia's mom is like, do you have a man? And, Portia brings up, the guy Todd to her and everything. And, mom is like, I don't remember him and all this other stuff. And, Portia was like that. While she was dating him, she was dating somebody else and everything. And I'm just like, didn't you say you was dating him for 4 to 5 years? So you was dating somebody else as well? I was confused by that because, she said she was dating him for a few years, so I'm thinking maybe her family done met this nigga and everything, this, that, and the third, but apparently not. But anyway, so she tells them that he has kids and all this other stuff, and they like, what? Like, they seem not to be impressed so far. But the more ironic thing about him is not only does he have Candy's husband's first name, he has Cordell, Portia's ex-husband's last name, Stewart, and all this other stuff. And she said how Todd had hit her up and said, yeah, you married the wrong Stewart and all this other stuff, blase. So moving on from when she got married to Cordell and all this other stuff. So moving on from that, we get Phaedra. Her mom, she's just having a conversation with her mom about Apollo and all this other stuff, and how it was when she saw him, and them moving on with the divorce. Now, I remember I told you guys last week that, they said Phaedra lied about them having a divorce and everything. But apparently now they're saying that no, Phaedra didn't lie or whatever. The divorce has been finalized and Apollo is wasting his time trying to file another thing when it's already done and over with. So, my bad, Phaedra, but y'all know the bitch got a history of lying on this damn show. But then at the same time, Apollo has a history of lying too. And he's delusional. I'm just saying. But yeah, I thought it was ridiculous when he had the nerve to try to ask for joint custody. It's like, nigga, you're in jail. And then on top of that, you stole from old people, motherfucker. You stole from old people. You really think you about to get some damn joint custody of some kids, boy? Fuck out of here. Sit your high your ass down somewhere. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyways, okay, so on top of that, we see Mama Joyce in her Mary J. Blige gear, from that video, I'm Not Gonna Cry. She had the shades on and the scarf on, and all that stuff, looking real sneaky. She shows up to this law firm or whatever with that white guy that we always see on this show, Phaedra's lawyer friend. I forgot his name. But yeah, she shows up to his office or whatever because Mama Joyce wants to prove her point about Phaedra's divorce, about, how if somebody is locked up for more than 2 years, that you could get a divorce in 2 months or whatever the situation was. She wants to prove her point or whatever. So as she's asking him about that, he's like, well, I can't tell you nothing about nobody's case because, I have a friend who's kind of going through something right now. She's like, oh, yes, I know, or whatever, this, that, and the third. So pretty much he confirms what Mama Joyce has been thinking and all this other stuff. And my whole thing is, Mama Joyce, why you gotta be fucking messy? Like, why is it any of your concern how quick Phaedra is getting the fucking divorce from Apollo? Why is that any of your motherfucking business? Like, you need to go somewhere and find some business of your own. Because that shit is ridiculous. And people had got on, I think people, I guess, apparently was tweeting about the shit or whatever, and I seen it on Candy's Facebook page. She was talking about it, and Candy said that she didn't know or whatever, blase, and she was like, even though you guys might think I don't get on my mom, I do, my mom is her own person and blah, 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 whatever. But it's just like, Mama Joyce, you is messy as fuck, okay? But, anyways, like that, moving on from that. Candy, we have her event, the taste testing event or whatever. They're in some restaurant. Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora, they show up. Mama Joyce, she shows up and everything. And, Mama Joyce, she twists her face up when Candy tells her that, Phaedra is coming and all this other stuff. And, she asks about the guy who bombed the place. And Candy is like, Mama. You know how Candy do or whatever. And, she's like that she hasn't talked to Phaedra about the situation and all this other stuff, so she don't know. And, Mama Joyce gonna sit up here and say, he wanted to send her high up or high down with that bomb and all this other stuff. I'm just like, see, this is why. Now, I'm kind of like everybody else now when it comes to Phaedra and Candy's situation now. As far as, their friendship. I'm starting to feel like, part of the reason why Candy, y'all friendship is not repaired because, you allow your mom to talk mess about Phaedra and all this other stuff, and Phaedra watch that shit back and probably be like, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm starting to, see what everybody else is talking about now when it comes to that situation. But I still feel like, too, it's both of their fault as to why they not friends no more. You feel what I'm saying? I still feel that way, but I do see where people is coming from on the fact that Candy do let, like, Mama Joyce and the rest of her crew just talk bad about Phaedra all the time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, moving on from that. So the girls, they start showing up one by one and everything. They're all at the table talking. And, Sheree tells Mama Joyce what Kenya had to say about her wig and everything, this, that, and the third. Kenya, she tried to backpedal and pussy pop, as James Caldwell would say, or whatever, and tried to say, no, I didn't say that, blase. And they showed the footage. They played the footage back of when she did say the shit. And Mama Joyce, she didn't seem like she really took it to heart, though. She kind of was more so like, Kenya, you don't want to mess with me and all this other stuff. She was like, you won't want to look this good at 66 years old, or whatever she said, blase. So it looked like she didn't really take it to heart, especially, when Candy said, yeah, she apologized and blah, blah, blah. So, Phaedra, she finally shows up. She's the last to show. Mama Joyce wants to pull Phaedra to the side or whatever to talk to her about the divorce and everything. And Mama Joyce being phony as fuck or whatever, trying to fake act like she concerned about Phaedra's divorce process and all this other stuff. But I was glad that Candy went and got Mama Joyce to shut that shit down. So I was glad to see that. Candy immediately was like, Ma, no, like, you're not about to do this or whatever. So that was that. Phaedra, she talks about the incident with the whole bomb thing, with the girls and all this other stuff. Mama Joyce, she tells what the news said, what the news outlets had said or whatever had happened. She was like, yeah, they said that he said he was tired of being messed around with and he wanted to blow you the fuck up and all this other stuff. And they all looking like, and Phaedra, she was like, I really don't know where Mama Joyce is getting her her information from, but it seems like she's back in the streets doing hood reporting. I said, Phaedra ain't shit, but I feel her on that though, cause you know them streets is Mama Joyce's best friend. So yeah. Um. Anyways, so Phaedra, she explains what the guy meant or whatever, this, that, and the third, and then she starts talking about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And then Candy, she said some slick shit in her confessional about how her friend told her that Phaedra needs a bodyguard and all this other stuff because of all this stuff going on. So don't even sit up here with that fake shit or whatever. And I was just like, anyways, so Sheree, Sheree is messy as fuck. She is messy as fuck, okay? Like, she brings up, the block situation or whatever. Candy is like, really, girl? You know what I'm saying? But, Candy, she talks to them about the phone call and everything. And, Portia, she's like, what the fuck? Like, Riley damn near grown now. You know what I'm saying? And, because Candy talks about when he had said the whole co-parenting thing and everything. And then Sheree, she asks Portia, did he ever talk about Riley when you guys were dating and all this other stuff? And, Sheree talks about the conversation her and Candy had and everything. And, how Sheree tried to say that Candy said that Portia and Block were intimate, and Portia was like, no, we never did anything, we just dated. And Portia was like, Candy is going above and beyond about the intimate part and all this other stuff. And I'm trying to remember, I don't think Candy actually said that Portia and Block was intimate. At least I don't remember. I probably made the assumption that they fucked around. I don't remember, but I don't think Candy actually said that. I think Phaedra. I think Sheree just trying to, do too much with that. But anyway, so or put words in Candy's mouth, I should say. But anyway, she says that it was after Candy, blase, blase. Phaedra was like, I could care less about a one night stand. I was like, ooh. Anyways, moving on from that, Candy, she explains to Portia about the conversation that they had about what Block was trying to say, that, Candy was trying to keep Riley from him and all this other stuff, blase, blase. So, and that was pretty much the end of that. So, moving on from that, we get Cynthia real quick. Pretty much she's meeting up with her lawyer and tells the lawyer about what Peter has been doing, going on the tour to talk about their divorce or them getting a divorce and everything. The lawyer pretty much tells her that it could be done within 45 to 50 days. And, they don't even have to be in court for it. And, Cynthia, she's kind of a little bit sad that it is going to be over soon and that things didn't work out and whatever. So moving on from that, we get Kenya. She's on the phone with Cynthia crying, and she tells Cynthia that Matt was drunk and everything. He came to the house or whatever. He was drunk. He wanted to get his stuff and all this other stuff. She took the remote out his car, to the garage or whatever. And she was like, because she didn't want him in her house and all this other stuff, why he was like that. And next thing you know, he broke a window in her garage and everything. And Cynthia, she was like, what kind of shit is that or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Him acting out or whatever. Is he a child and everything? I feel Cynthia on that. Cynthia's just pretty much giving her opinion on it, and they hang up and everything. Kenya, she feels like he wouldn't do anything to her personally, but she don't know. Next thing you know, she's crying to one of the producers, talking to them, pretty much making excuses for him and all this other stuff. And she says that she wasn't nice to him in the beginning, and so he resents her for that and everything. And next thing you know, she calls him on the phone and all this other stuff, and he wants to be taken back one more time. Just one more time, y'all, or whatever. And, she wants him to come over. I said, after what the fuck he just did, you really want this man to come over? For what? For why? I understand, the producers is going to be there and all this other stuff, but, the camera crew, but still. So, he comes back and everything, you know, because she kind of represented to him that the producers and stuff was going to be gone, so they could just talk by themselves and all this other stuff. Um, he says that he was going to stay in California for real, and all this other stuff. And, you know, she says that she has his back every time and everything. Every time he does, you know, this dumb shit. And, you know, and she was like that. If she wanted to call 911, she could have. If she wanted to bury him, she could have a long time ago. She was like that she looks like a crazy person and all this other stuff. And he's like, how do you look like a crazy person and all this other stuff? And she was like, because I'm with you. Like, what the fuck, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And she makes it, and from what he's saying, he's like, you know, she makes it seem like, you know, he's you know, like, she makes it seem like as if he just acts out of nowhere, like as if she doesn't do shit to, you know, build it up and everything. And he says that it's not an excuse for him to be punching windows and shit like that. But, you know, still. And, you know, she embarrasses him and all this other stuff. And she was like, I'm embarrassed and all this other stuff. And she was like, look at this window and blah, blah, blah. And she says, and he says that, you know, she's manipulative, and he used some big word. I forgot what he said. I couldn't write it down quick enough. But he used some big word, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know he knew these big words, child. Matt doesn't strike me as a person that be knowing big words and shit. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyways, yeah, he used some big word on her, but I'm like, well, he ain't lying, especially about the manipulative part. I'm just saying, you know. But yeah, it's still no excuse for him to be sitting up here like Joe Frazier or somebody, you know, knocking out windows and hitting walls and kicking doors down and all that other kind of shit. And he had put up a long post on Instagram the other day, you know, just really like going in on Kenya and everything, this, that, and the third. I don't remember all what he said, but it's on the Shade Room. So yeah, but she's like, you know, you sitting up here blaming me for your actions and all this other stuff. She says, next thing you know, it'll be my fault that you whooped my ass or some shit like that, this, that, and the third. And, you know, she's over it at this point, and he drives off. And that was pretty much the episode. Now, I felt like a lot of the stuff that Matt was saying was true, even with the post that I saw that he put up. But at the same time, is no excuse for him to be doing all that shit that he's doing. But I still need somebody to help me understand. They was just together for you know, Thanksgiving and all that shit, and next thing you know, he get a girlfriend out of nowhere. I'm still trying to understand. But yeah, that was the episode, y'all. I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. If there's anything I forgot to talk about, y'all can put it in there, you know, give y'all opinions and everything. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.